Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my amazing friends. I'm so excited and so honored and so grateful to be here with you today. So welcome back. This podcast is where we grow, we rise, we stretch, we elevate, and together we become the next level versions of ourselves. So if you are new here, welcome to the Level Up family. I'm so glad you're here. And if you've been here for a while, you know exactly who you are, and I'm just so grateful. We have become a community of people who literally refuse to live in our comfort zone and go through life on autopilot. This podcast, this energy is like for the people who want to wake up hungry for purpose, hungry for growth, hungry for impact. We're not here to settle. We don't shrink. We don't apologize for wanting an extraordinary life. Like one of my not great things is like I sometimes have a tendency to feel guilty in life. It's one of the things I'm working through. And I'm telling you, this is what I do for a living, and growth is still forever. Like it's not like you just wake up one day and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's completely gone. You work on it. So I want to make sure that like you're never apologizing or feeling guilty for wanting an extraordinary life. So what are we going to talk about today? Today's topic, it's kind of like a little bit of a truth, but I love to deliver truth. So this time right now you could be listening to this podcast, not the specific drop week, but when we kind of talk about the time of where we are when this drops, it's the time between Christmas and it's the time between New Year's. And this is a really incredible time. So for a lot of the world could get really quiet during this time. You know, sometimes you could think routines soften, but for other people, it's very chaotic. But I really want us to use this time, this space to reflect. We have this time to remember who we are, to allow ourselves to dream again. But we also now have a week to go for it. So we have room to choose intentionally, focused. How will we enter next year? And so today we're talking about something most people will never do. So when you think about Level Up with Debbie Neal, it's like the ultimate goal of this podcast that we're creating and becoming our best self and separating ourselves from average. So we're going to talk about something that most people will never do, but all great leaders eventually decide to do this. Sometimes we might avoid it, but they're not a great leader yet. And we're going to talk about burning the backup plan. So a while ago, I did an episode called Burn the Boats. We're going to talk about burning the backup plan and entering the new year with no plan B. And so this episode is for the person who is ready to step into their greatness, ready to say, you know what, like enough is enough. I'm no longer willing to tolerate not my best. I'm ready to go all in. They are ready to stop dancing with doubt. Like stop dancing with doubt. You have every single thing it takes inside of you, and action breeds confidence. You're ready to stop being available for the old stories that keep us small. And if that's you, if that's where you are today, let's go, let's roll. Okay. So I want to talk about first why backup plans hold us back. And so I want to just start with this truth. Backup plans to some people can sound responsible, right? Like you should have a backup plan with a spare tire. You should have a backup plan with certain things in life. But when it comes to business, often they sound responsible. They sound grown up. They sound like you have wisdom. But most of the time, and I'm going to stress most of the time, okay, backup plans are not wisdom. They are fear dressed up in practicality. Okay. So let's call it what it is. A backup plan is a psychological safety net. And what a backup plan whispers is if this doesn't work, maybe I won't look stupid. If this doesn't work, maybe I won't feel vulnerable. If this gets hard, I can pivot. If I start doubting myself, I can always fall back on the old version of me. Or it whispers, why push yourself if I can earn money doing something else without all of this uncomfortable growth? And so backup plans feel like protection, but they're not. They're not, my friends. They're actually padding. They're padding, which is just this big, bulky thing between you and your destiny. They're padding between what you know you are capable of in your heart before you try to talk yourself out of greatness. So I want to ask you a question. Are you maybe there? Are you maybe willing, but you're not all in? Are you available, but not leading? Because I want to be really clear. Those are two separate things. Are you showing up? You're there. Maybe your camera's on. Maybe you're at a meeting, but you're not participating, hungry to lead, leading with excellence. So you're asked to participate on the calls or Zooms or meeting. Are you in regular communication with energy and passion with your team, right? Or you just sort of passive in just about every single thing that you're doing. Because here's the truth that most people don't want to admit. Every single backup plan divides your power. It splits your focus. Like, why go all in if I have something to fall back on? If we leave the back door open, even a crack, we will figure out a way to get our ass through it. So it splits your focus. It waters down your energy. It softens your intensity. Greatness requires a certain level of obsession. It requires showing up when the excitement fizzles. It requires continuing when other people would quit. And friends, a lot of times people think quitting is like, I'm making this big public announcement. Quitting is when we stop being excellent. Quitting is when we settle for a smaller version than what we're capable of. And that kind of devotion doesn't come from a person holding on to a plan B. It comes from the person who says, I'm in this. I'm committed. I decide the outcome, not the circumstances. The circumstances do not define what I am capable of. You cannot cling to a backup plan and at the same time step into your highest potential. You cannot hold on to who you were and become who you are meant to be. Backup plans are the handcuffs that we put on ourselves. Like, nobody could put that on you. Maybe somebody told you that you're not good enough or you're not smart enough or whatever the case is, but you chose to allow that handcuff to be on you. They are the exit doors we install when we're afraid of disappointment. They are the limits that we place on our own commitment. And if I'm going to be really honest, and you guys know I love to be really honest with you, backup plans are the biggest dream killers on the planet. Not a lack of talent, not a lack of resources, not a lack of opportunity. The dream dies when you give yourself somewhere to hide. So let me ask you this, and it may sting a bit, okay? When we talk about our plan B. And people are like, Debbie, you can't tell me what to do. No, I can't. Okay. But maybe if you're in a profession like I am, and let's say it's network marketing, are you representing other brands on social media? Now, look, somebody could say, look, I want to make some extra money. That to me is a plan B. Like influencers, I could get a little hate messages for this. Like, it's not the same as building a business, a team. And then sometimes we're representing other brands. And it's like, would somebody look at your social media and know the brand you're building, the passion you're building? Or is it just like so many different things, right? And then sometimes when we do that, we're wondering why our main one isn't growing. And often it's because the message that we're sending is confusing. If this was so great, they're thinking, well, why are you doing that? And trust me, people are thinking this, right? So what goes wrong when we keep backup plans? And so let's really talk about what happens quietly, subtly, beneath the surface when we keep backup plans in our life. Number one, they drain our energy. You absolutely cannot sprint towards a dream with a head turned on an escape door. It doesn't work that way. You have to know there's no plan B. You have to give yourself no other option, and you have to be all in. Part of you is pursuing the goal. Part of you is preparing for failure. Have you ever experienced that? Like you've set this goal, but it's like, what if I don't hit it? What if there's not enough time? What if my team doesn't? You're preparing for failure. And when you prepare for failure, opportunities are not going to show up. Solutions are not going to show up. Smallness is going to show up. Distraction is going to show up. That tension burns energy that you could be using to build your business. Number two, backup plans, they create mental loopholes. Your brain loves convenience. Everybody's brain loves convenience. When things get hard, your brain will say, this is too much. You don't have to push. Remember, we have something else that we could be doing. Those thoughts don't show up when there is no other option. Three, backup plans give fear a microphone. Fear grows loudest when there's space for fear, when we allow fear. Backup plans give fear room to negotiate with your destiny. You have the ability to create your future, create your destiny, set your goals, have a vivid imagination, and do anything. But a backup plan will hold you back from all of it. Number four, backup plans, they weaken your identity. And so when I'm referring to identity, it's like identifying as a leader, identifying as a top income earner, identifying as somebody that people would want to join and follow. And it's how you see yourself. Identity is everything. When you have a plan B, you unconsciously become the person who might quit, not the person who finishes what they start. And I will tell you, people want to join the leader who's convicted and committed to do what they said they were going to do. Your word is everything. Number five, backup plans block mastery. Mastery requires repetition. It's doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, but each time focusing on getting better. Repetition requires endurance. The average person gets tired. If your why is not big enough, you will wander. Endurance requires a decision. So when you have a decision, I'm doing this no matter what, you will endure the endurance. Backup plans break that chain. Most people don't quit because it's impossible. Most people don't quit because it doesn't work. They quit because they don't see themselves as the kind of person who finishes without a safety net. And if you want a different year, that needs to stop right now. Because years go by really quickly, and the older you get, they go by really quickly, and nothing is going to change until you decide to change. So let's really think about what a plan B, what no plan B actually means. So I really want to clear something up. Going no plan B doesn't mean acting impulsively or being irresponsible. When I'm talking about in this episode with no plan B, it means acting with intention, being in alignment, and having unshakable conviction to what you're creating. It means you stop entertaining alternative identities. It means you stop telling half-hearted stories about your goal without meaning and conviction behind them. It means you stop planning for mediocrity. Having no plan B means you're not available for quitting. You're not available for excuses. You're not available for half effort. You're not available for when I feel like it. You're not available for your old patterns. It means your purpose is not up for negotiation. Your dream is not up for debate. Your calling is not a hobby. Going all in means you elevate your identity to match your vision, not the other way around. Most people try to build confidence before they commit. Leaders commit first, and the confident rises to meet the commitment. You don't need a plan B when you're becoming the kind of person who will make the plan A work, no matter what. And there's a psychology of going all in. A lot of times business, entrepreneurship, leveling up, becoming our very best it's about what goes on between our two ears. There is a reason the most successful people in the world go all in. There is a reason the greats didn't leave themselves escape routes. Because when you remove the fallback plan, everything about you shifts. I remember starting my business and seeing what the average of a top level was. And then I was like, well, what does the top of the top earn? And then I got myself really mentally excited that was going to be me, because anything else was not an option. I removed the plan B of seeing if this works, giving it a try, giving it 6 months, giving it a year, or basing it on who would join me, who would quit me, and other people's opinions. Those are the boats that I burnt, and I got rid of the plan B. And because of that, with a lot of other things, I have built something really extraordinary. It would never have happened with a plan B, because there were times where I was like, oh my gosh, like literally, oh my gosh. There was times I was on my knees, like, why? But I knew that it was part of the plan. Okay. So when you remove the fallback plan, everything about you shifts. So some things that shift: one, your brain becomes fiercely resourceful. And we talked about this earlier. Solutions show up because you're figuring it out. When quitting is not an option, you find a way. Your creativity increases. Your innovation increases. Your problem solving becomes instinctive. You're like, yeah, I'm figuring this out. Simply put, you figure it out always. Number two, your urgency increases. You stop dabbling. You stop waiting for the right time. You stop procrastinating. You show up because there's no later. There's only now. Your resilience goes through the roof. It skyrockets. Because with no plan B, what are setbacks now? They're just speed bumps. Like, it is what it is. They're not roadblocks. You bounce back faster because your identity cannot afford to collapse. Like, I'm a winner. I'm doing this. I'm a top performer. I've made a decision. Number four, you unlock dormant discipline. You have discipline inside of you. You're capable of being disciplined. The version of you with no backup plan is really powerfully disciplined. And many of you've seen it before. Are you afraid to go for it again? Are you afraid to build it again? Are you afraid of something happening? Are you afraid of going for it? What happens when you allow this dormant discipline to live inside of you, or not rise, rather, you stop breaking promises to yourself. When you release the discipline, your integrity strengthens and your self-trust in yourself grows. Like, if you don't trust yourself and your capabilities and your leadership, nobody will join you. Number five, you step into leadership. People follow those who are committed. People believe in those who refuse to waver. The energy of I'm all in is really magnetic. That energy, you know what it does? It moves people. It inspires people. It transforms teams. Number six, your standard becomes your strategy. So if your standard is excellence, if your standard is no matter what, if your standard is I'm getting it done, high standards produce high results. When you eliminate your plan B, your standards will rise. You want to know why? There's no other option. So you go into autopilot for your standards rising. You begin to show up as the person that your vision requires. This is where the growth happens. It doesn't happen before you set the goal, not the person your comfort prefers. And so why don't most people do this? Like, it seems like you listen to this, like, why am I not doing this? Okay. So let's tell the truth. Most people will never burn the backup plan. Now, that could be me being a realist. That's why 1%, no matter what you do in life, there's 1% that is going to be better than anybody else. And not because the others are not worthy, but they're not going to do what it takes. So most people will never burn the backup plan. They say they want success. They say they want change. They say they want transformation. But the moment you talk about going all in, they get really uncomfortable. And so why? So some reasons, one, they feel failure. But failing with a backup plan, I'm going to tell you this, it doesn't hurt any less. It just happens sooner. If you're fearing failure and you give yourself a backup plan, you are guaranteed to fail. Number two, they fear judgment. What will people think of me if I go all in and it doesn't work? My friends, I hate to tell you this too, you're going to be judged either way. So let them judge your courage. Number three, they fear commitment. Commitment, what does that mean? Responsibility. It means living in my word. Responsibility means ownership. Ownership means growth, and growth is really uncomfortable. Number four, they fear outgrowing their environment. Some people cling to plan B to avoid rising above the people around them. If you're surrounded by people who talk more about debt than dreams, if you're surrounded by people who are more negative than positive, if you hang around people that are complaining about money but doing nothing about it, here's the thing, your destiny is not voted on, it's chosen. You're choosing this destiny. And number five, they fear meeting their true potential. This is the fear nobody talks about because your potential is powerful. Your potential is bright. Your potential is intimidating, even to you, but you are not most people. If you're here, if you're listening to this podcast, you're someone who wants more, someone who is ready to rise, someone who's willing to do the inner work others avoid. This episode is for the 1% who chose purpose over comfort. They fear the time it will take. We are living in a world of instant satisfaction. People get excited. They give a business a whirl. They give it a try. If progress doesn't immediately explode, they recede. This loses influence. People lose trust. People follow commitment. So here's my challenge to you. Okay. As we're entering the new year, and you could be listening to this where you're just entering a new month. Okay. This is the moment in the episode where I want you to really listen and really reflect. So you're listening to this now between the time of around Christmas and New Year's. And this is really a transitional time. Use it. I want you to really ask yourself the question, where is my life? And am I keeping a backup plan? Where are you giving yourself permission to settle? Where are you half committed? Where are you still choosing comfort over your calling? Where are you negotiating with your potential? Look at your business. Look at your health. Look at your relationships. Look at your habits. Look at your energy. Look at your beliefs. Look at your environment. Look at your self-discipline. Look at your dreams. But I want you to be brutally honest. Honest is the birthplace of transformation. Now, once you see it, I really want you to ask yourself, what am I afraid of if I go all in? What am I afraid of if I go all in? So say it out loud. Write it down. Face it. Fear loses its power when you stop hiding it. And then make a decision right here, right now. The kind of decision that can change the trajectory of your life. The kind of decision that creates legacy. The kind of decision you feel in your soul. And I'm betting a lot of you set really big goals for 2025. Can you honestly say you gave it your all? What if you went all in right now, leading right up to 2026? Everything can look completely different. If you want a bigger business, if you want to earn more, if you want to grow your leadership, if you want to grow your influence, it begins 1000% with you. If your team is not on fire, my guess, their leader isn't either. So decide to go all in. Decide to burn the backup plan. Decide to walk into this new year with zero escape routes. Imagine how you would show up if quitting was not on the table. Imagine how you would behave if your only option was success. Imagine who you would become if you remove the option of returning to your old ways. This is the energy that you're bringing into the new year. Not I hope, not I'll try, not maybe this time. Maybe this is my year. No. You're bringing in I will. I will decide. I'm all in. So like, how do you burn the backup plan? So I really want you guys to think about this because decision without action is just wishful thinking. So here's like a few things, tangible things. I'm trying to be more tangible. Okay. To burn the backup plan. Number one, identify your backup plan. Don't sugarcoat it. Call it what it is. The mental escape route you've been keeping open. 2, identify why you're keeping it. Is it comfort? Is it fear? Is it old identity? Is it external expectations? Awareness is clarity, and clarity creates choice. 3, declare your non-negotiables. What are you no longer available for in the new year? Write it down, say it out loud. Number 4, upgrade your identity. Stop acting like someone who hopes it works. Start acting like someone who makes it work. Identity is the fuel for action. When the identity shifts, the habits always follow. Number 5, close the exits. Remove the temptations. Stop entertaining the old story. Stop giving energy to what if this doesn't work, and replace that with what if it does? And I become every single thing I'm meant to be. I remember when I was introduced to my business and I was at a backyard barbecue and I was immediately so excited. I was so pumped. I'm like, I'm doing this. And then on the way home, I had fears. And what if this doesn't work? And I've never sold a thing in my life. And I don't know anything about network marketing. And what if people say no to me? And what if they laugh? But then there was that quiet voice saying, what if she's right? What if this works and I could become everything I'm meant to be? And I don't do it. And that was the reason that I jumped in with both feet. So number 6, create a daily ritual of commitment. Touch the dream every single day. Every day, look at your goals. What is your vision? Speak your vision every single morning. Move toward it every single day, especially on the days that you don't feel like it. Number 7, surround yourself with people who are all in also. Energy is contagious. Commitment is contagious. Excellence is contagious. Negativity is contagious. Small-mindedness is contagious. Blaming and justifying is contagious. Build an environment that supports the version of you who has absolutely no backup plan. So friends, you were not born to live a lukewarm life. You were not born. Comfort zones are not comfortable. They're really uncomfortable. You were not created for average. You were not destined to blend in. You were destined to lead, to rise, to serve, to expand, to inspire, to live boldly, courageously, and unapologetically. And none of that happens with a plan B. This new year is not just another year. It's a chapter in your legacy. It's a turning point, a movement where the old you dissolves and the leader you're becoming takes center stage. Walk into this new year with fire, with clarity, with commitment, with courage, with no backup plan, no retreat, no shrinking, no halfway. You're going all in. You are burning the bridges back to the old you. You are stepping into your power with intention and purpose. Friends, I love you. I believe in you with my whole heart. And I'm so proud of the person that you are making an intention decision to become. Love you, friends.